What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the place where you can find the latest NFT trends and the best NFT content for entrepreneurs and investors. This is Above The Jpeg with your favorite new friend, Kango Lin. Welcome to our episode 4. We're chatting with Peter Saddington, the OG, the crypto OG who bought the first Lamborghini with Bitcoin. Turned out to be a very expensive Lamborghini, but nonetheless, a very catching news. And he is also a crypto VC in the space, as well as an operator, taking Emrit from zero to almost $40 million yearly revenue. Let's see what he has to give to all of the rest operators in Web3. Is rolling. Peter, welcome to the show, man. I'm so stoked that you're on Above The Jpeg right now. It's just
it's good to be here, Kango, man. It's always great to hang out with you and obviously just talk with you, shoot around the ideas and see what types of things emerge, man. I love talking with you. Thanks for letting me be here.
100%. And just starting off, right? I know a lot of people already knows you. I know a lot of people already heard the name Peter Saddington and Bitcoin Lambo. But just for those folks who are new in the space, we'll love to hear a little intro from you, just a little background, right? I know you're hustlers, too much to talk about, but
yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of a TLDR. Actually, the best thing that I could do is just have you guys Google Peter Saddington. When you Google Peter Saddington, you'll know more than you'd ever need to know about me. Plus, what's great about Google is when you type in Peter Saddington, Google will recommend searches for you. So that's when you know you've made it, I guess, is when people type in your name and they recommend all the searches for you. But I'm an OG in Bitcoin, got into Bitcoin in 2011, built multiple startups. A couple of them have been acquired, venture funds, built that. Had my 15 minutes claim to fame by buying the world's first Lamborghini Huracan with Bitcoin. And so I have dedicated my life to the cryptocurrency space and building everything, as Kango well knows, building pretty much everything in the Bitcoin and crypto space. People think that I stick mostly to mining and, retail or maybe some blockchain stuff, but guys, I'm building everything and it's awesome.
That was the last $1 million company. I remember the last time we talked, you told me that you brought, what was the name of the company again? The
Emrit.
mining?
Yeah, the crypto mining Emrit. So we were the first. We were the first cryptocurrency mining, the largest cryptocurrency retail mining organization for the Helium blockchain. And so we blew up. Our first year, we did over 10 million. And our second year, we did close to 40 million. So not bad.
I know, right? That was in 2 years. That's what blown me away. But let's go way back, right? Let's go way back. I know that you were in the crypto space long ago. So how did you first got into the crypto space or Bitcoin? It seems like you were in here from a different era.
Well, I wasn't part of the cypherpunks. I wasn't part of the deep web, dark web. However, I was in that world for sure, but I wasn't in the forums. What I really was just a kind of a top level technologist, right? I was an engineer for a Fortune 50 company, built my, went off and built my own software firm and ended up creating some software that ended up getting acquired. And so for me as an engineer, I was just curious about engineering blogs and tech blogs. And so there's a blog, and it's been around for a long time, Ars Technica, and this was in October of 2011. I read an article in Ars Technica that said that this technology stack had lost all this value, and I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense, right? How come C# or PHP or .NET or JavaScript, how can that lose value? It's just a scripting language, right? And so when I realized that what they meant about this tech stack was Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin had lost value, and it was programmable money, Kangle. That was it, man. When they said it was programmable money, I was like, oh my gosh, I can make my own money. If the Fed can do it, why can't I? And so from 2011 till now, a decade, I've been building in cryptocurrency apps, and it is absolutely the best place to be.
I mean, that's quite amazing because, from my perspective, actually, as a 21 years old, I probably didn't see enough. But Peter, I keep thinking to myself, the folks who were able to spot that trend so early on, I don't feel like they're the same type of beast as regular folks.
right? Like
Mm.
just
Absolutely.
wondering, what do you think is required to be able to like spot trends that early? You know,
Read.
because there's a lot of read.
Read. Like every day, I'll give you guys the secret sauce. Okay, here you go. You go to feedly.com, you type in Bitcoin or crypto, and then you create a news feed of over 200, 300 news about crypto and Bitcoin. And you can obviously add, VC stuff or startup stuff or entrepreneur stuff or tech stuff or Web3 stuff, NFT, right? You can bifurcate it in many different ways. And every morning I have this massive RSS feed of all the news articles, and I just skim it. And I'll spend anywhere between 30 to maybe an hour every morning just skimming and then clicking and being like, oh, that's juicy. Oh, this is contextually relative to me. Oh, this is something that I need to talk about. This is something I need to learn about. This is a tech stack that I've never considered. Maybe I should read that, right? And so the massive amounts of reading over a extended period of time, you end up understanding, not the micro, you understand the macro movements of the market. And I can tell you the reasons why that I've been so successful at building amazing startups, generally at the very beginning of the uptick of early user adoption. Or I'm lying. I'm not even early user adoption. I'm like middle user adoption, right on the upward swing.
That's
and the
right.
reason is because,
starts.
right, but I'm not there on the fringe. With Bitcoin, I put money in early at $2.50. So that was just luck. That was just pure luck, and just like, holy crap, this is awesome. But ended up turning out to be a decade long plus career. That was awesome. But for me, if you read, especially if you read within a particular market demographic, market segment, or particular focal point, then you will understand the macro movements of that market, and you can make informed decisions investment wise or product and service wise, because you've seen it been growing. Like there are people that are far more attuned than you and I to the AI, machine learning, virtual reality space. These are the guys we really need to be talking to. If you're a lover of that market, you need to find those guys out, because those guys, you'll say, hey, when is AI and machine learning and virtual reality, all that's going to hit? And they'll say, well, I can remember back in 2007 when the first rumblings of this happened, and they said it was going to change our lives. And then we went through the hype cycle of the 2012s, and it didn't amount to much. And then we went through they know everything, and they're not jaded. They're ridiculously informed. And these are the ones who, as an operator, especially if you're going to be building in this particular space, that you need to find out from or become like them, so that you don't need to find them. You are that person. So let's hone the focus in. Let's hone the focus in. Let's say you just love NFTs, obviously. If you just love NFTs, make that your focus. Know everything about it. Know the ups and downs, the beginnings, the ends, the permutations, the idiosyncrasies and the aesthetics of it, how it's emerging within the markets, how it's changing and evolving as regulation and these types of things are affecting it, and governmental constraints are coming in, or industry pressures coming in, or market dynamics are changing. Like, I'm telling you everything that I'm reading in my world. Go deep in your focus area, and you will know it won't pay off right now, but man, years later, you will become the gravitational knowledge center of that particular idea. And dadgummit, if you're a smart individual and you're assertive and you're a hustler, you should have been making some product or service around it for show.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of juice for people to.
I'm here to give it away for free, brother.
Man, that's a lot of juice. I think as an operator, and as a lot of people who are listening to this podcast, as their operators, we have this common question of, Peter, like, it seems like I understand that you're like very concentrated and focused on the crypto industry, but it seems like you have this ability to juggle a lot of different things. And I've heard stories where you finish so many different degrees from different universities so fast. I am just wondering, I think this is very relevant to crypto founders as well, is that even within crypto, there's so many different sectors, right? You say go deep. But it seems like you can go deep on like all the things that you want to go for you. It seems like you can go into anything you want. What's the secret here? Or is really not what I'm observing here?
No, what you're observing is correct. And if you were to work logistically or locally with me, then you would understand this to be absolutely true. But no one is like me. And you don't want to aspire to be me because I'm like a shark. If you understand the biomechanics of a shark must keep moving or it will die. That is who I am. I must keep moving. I must keep building. I must keep creating, or I will perish. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, I will begin to dissipate into the ether. And so the only thing that is holding this body together is forward movement, Kangle. And I'm not saying that in a tongue in cheek or as a metaphor. It is absolutely true. And so I don't want people to aspire to be me. I just have a limited time on this planet. And you'll say, well, everybody does. Well, how I have digested that reality in my short 40 years of life on this planet is that I must get as much experience and do as much as I possibly can before I die. That money is just a number on a screen. That's not important. Experiences. And some people would say, well, you can just go travel. That's not the experiences I want. The experiences that I want is building something from nothing with awesome people who I want to do life with for either a short period of time or a long period of time. I don't know what that's going to look like. However, what I can control in my maturity and my network and my experience is I can control what we're building. I can also control who's building it with me. And I'm in a great position in life where I'm optimized. And so I can work on multiple multi-million-dollar projects, raise money all over the place, be an angel investor, VC as well, and still have a life balanced with my kids and racing. As many people know, if you look at my Twitter, I'm 4 days a week, I'm out at the track. And so.
That many days? I thought it was less than that, because that's 4 days out of the week and you're running on multi-million-dollar operation. That's
if you're doing national racing, it is a travel on Wednesday to Ohio, testing on Thursday, right? You're tuning and testing the car on Thursday. Friday is qualifying and practice and qualifying. Saturday is race, two sprint races on Saturday, 2 sprint races on Sunday. You're back Sunday night or Monday morning. And so that's what my racing schedule looks like with my son. And all the days in there, including weekends, I'm just grinding on my mobile, grinding on my laptop, or grinding at location. So it is,
yes.
You brought up something, Kangle, that I think is contextually relevant. Yes, you are correct. I finished 3 graduate degrees in social sciences while also building startups. And this is not when I was married. This is before I was married. But I can tell you that the feeling I have today, which is actually powerful because I had, let's see, it's 4:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 6th. I am 7 calls deep. I'm having a conversation with you, and then I have 3 other calls with some VCs and some other operators at the end of the day. And so for me, I am at the most optimized today as I felt when I was building a startup 15, 16 years ago and doing graduate courses. Now you might say, well, what does that mean, Peter? What that means is that when you have massive amounts of commitments that you personally have taken on to the depth of your soul as a personal responsibility that you will finish to the end, then you naturally optimize everything. And what is fascinating is that at your highest, most grueling time of life is not only when you are the most productive, but sometimes is your greatest build period towards your wealth. And so people wonder, how is it possible that this motherfucker is making so much money, but he's grinding like 20 hours a day? The answer is, it is because he's chosen to grind 20 hours a day that he can make that much bloody money in multiple ways, because he's optimized. When you have time to kill, man, those TikTok videos, they turn out to a 3-hour session, don't they?
They do. So that's why I don't have a TikTok. Oh my goodness.
Don't do it. Don't get sucked into that nonsense. Build,
Oh.
don't consume. That's the whole, everything I just talked about was essentially this model. Be a creator, builder, don't be a consumer. Consumers suck because you don't actually make anything. You're just eating the world.
100%. And I know that you've been building in Web3, right? I mean, crypto, Web3. What's your experience so far, honestly? Do you think, what, let me put it this way, right? How to thrive as operator in this such a rapidly evolving and sort of chaotic environment, right? Because that's what really Web3 is about, right? It's so early and
well, I think what we've you know what, make, if I don't, I'm not a complainer because there ain't nothing to complain about. I'm not a victim ever. I am the product of exactly the circumstances in which I've chosen and made poor decisions or good decisions a priori at this moment. So I am the culmination of every poor or good decision that I've made. And so victim mentality never fits well with me. However, if I were to complain, my complaints would be towards the individuals and the political pundits and the writers of sorts who like to pontificate and bloviate about what they think Web 3.0 is and what NFTs are and what DeFi is, in which they have actually never been an operator, nor have they actually built or written code, or nor have they actually ever built a company. And so if I were to complain about anything, it's about the writers and the pundits who are not in the trenches like you and I every day building this stuff. And so they'll say, oh, Web 3.0 is a generic term. It's not valuable. Or NFTs are shite and it's going to be shite for the rest. It's like, bro, what have you built recently? And then they, what my favorite from the pundits are when they write stuff like, these guys should move faster in building this. It's like, oh, really? Thanks for telling me what I already know. We all want to go faster, but the problem is we're dealing with complex systems, not complicated systems. And since we're building complex systems, everything is unknown. And so that's your answer, King. Your answer is, what does it feel like building in the Web 3.0? It is the world of the unknown, which is why operators in Web 3, DeFi, and let's just say DeFi and Web 3. Operators in DeFi and Web 3, you guys should be running such fast experiments all the time. Because since things are changing all the time, the landscape's changing all the time, you should be running experiments that last only about a week to 2 weeks long and validate those experiments as fast as possible, because the feedback you can get from that is so powerful, not only because it can be quickly done in like a week or 2 weeks, but guess what? In 2 weeks, the feedback's going to change because the market shifted and the dynamics have shifted, or the not just the market sentiment, but even price action could have changed, which changes sentiment. And so working in the Web3 world is literally strapping yourself to a rocket that doesn't have any fins. It's just flying really fast.
You don't know where it's going.
You don't know where it's going. You don't know where it's going. But let's anchor ourselves though, because there's actually some great stuff here. We can anchor ourselves with the fact that large entities, companies, public companies and private companies, as well as large, let's just say markets, are all getting into DeFi and Web3. So gaming market.
That's right.
Gambling market, right? We can
tech.
go on and on. Yeah, we can go into all this stuff. And there has been billions and billions of dollars, just check the news, that has been allocated towards metaverse, right? Towards DeFi, towards Web3. So is Microsoft, Google, the FANGs, are they going to be big in this? Faux show. Is Twitter going to somehow figure it out? I don't know. But are we going to continue to expand this way? And as money going to be put this way? Absolutely. So the winds are to our backs. The problem is no one knows what the compass is doing. It's just flying all over the place. So find your niche, find your community, right? Find your niche, find your community, find your feedback loops. And those feedback loops can help you build amazing stuff. Like, don't be deceived here, Kangle. Like, because there's some stuff we can't talk about here, but I'm building so many different startups in so many different places. And we have massive amounts of feedback loops in all those communities. So as we're building stuff out every week and sometimes day by day, we're just posting it to our Discord community and say, hey, what do you think? Does this work? Does the hook work? Does the API work? Does the UI, does the user experience, is it sticky enough? Does it have the gamification we need, right? Are we looking, we're asking all these questions and the community's like, oh, it sucks, or it needs to change like this, or I guess what we saw in this article here, your functionality here actually isn't that useful because they're going to be turning that off in the future. Or, hey, our users don't really care about this type of functionality or type of user flow. And it's like, okay, great. Thank you for telling me the word on the street. I didn't know. I'm in my head. I'm in my cave. I'm writing code. So thank you for telling me what is actually useful. And so find your niche, find your community, find your feedback loops, and you will be able to build and survive in the Web 3.0 world because everything's changing all the time.
That's right. Wow, dude, that's just, and I know how many community you're running, and it seems like you don't have any, you don't deploy any helps there. You just run your own community. But there's actually a couple communities that I'm in. I know that I'm in the Discord that you built. I know that I was in the Bitcoin course that you they actually posted. I actually watched through some of those videos. You just build these communities on your own, like by yourself? Do you?
Yeah.
You create systems, I know, but you do
I have systems for sure, but I wrote a book on it. You read my book, right?
The agile.
No, Gravity.
Oh, Gravity.
You haven't read my Gravity book?
I gotta read it. I'm buying it right now.
It's for free. Go to my Twitter. What's pinned at the top of my Twitter is my third book for free, Kangle, of how I have built multiple communities through multiple startups. I give you all the transparency of how I've made money from communities to help feed and seed my startups. For example, 3 startups ago, we started a community around our product, and we were making like $50,000 a month on community donations to help seed our product to our venture fund, which we ended up raising $4.8 million. I write all about it. And so you can survive in the web 3.0, DeFi, metaverse, crypto world. You can survive because communities are willing to support you and seed you to the point of traction. And then you can get VC funding or seed funding or whatever you need. Like,
dude,
God, I write it. It's all there for free, brother.
You know what? Quickly, let me just show the audience this real quick, right? So this is Peter's page, and right here, right, third book for free. My goodness, I bought the Agile book already. So right here, how do I
go all the way to the bottom? Scroll all the way to the bottom. Be at your best. There you go, right there. Scroll up. Download for free here. Right there. Click on that.
Wow, I'm getting the book right now.
For free. Look at that. How to create an irresistible brand.
Oh my God, I gotta save this book. I'll save this book. Oh, I got it right here. How to create an irresistible brand, unlimited deal flow, infinite possibilities. Peter Saddington. Peter, dude, thank you so much for giving me the book on like life. You know, this is amazing. I'll read this book definitely this week or next week. Peter, this is amazing, man. You found the time to write a book. That's wild. So
well, you read my second book, The Agile Pocket Guide, which was actually published by the #1 publisher in the business publisher in the world, John Wiley and Sons. So that was a big deal. But I decided not to go the regular publisher route and creating a paywall for people. And I wanted to give out all of my 15, 16 years of creating communities and startups and seeding startups via communities in this third book. And I wanted to give away for free. So now you and your community can read about how to make communities so you can seed your startups so that you can get venture funding. And then you can, I show you how to do it.
It's wild, man. That's wild. And you know, talking about communities you talked about communities for your users, for your potential customers. As an entrepreneur, I understand that the environment is so important, right? Like getting the right influence, getting the right people around you. I find myself work so much. Things are so much easier to get done when I'm in Austin, right? In Capital Factory, brushing shoulders with some of the best folks. What is your trick? I know you live in Atlanta. What is your what is your strategy of getting around great people around you? Do you do it online or?
I do it online, but if you follow my Twitter, you'll also see that I am constantly traveling. So I am a face-to-face person, because as much as you can get the good juju and the good energy from me via Zoom, let's be honest,
Get it
hanging out with
first
me,
100
hanging
times.
out with me one-on-one is like 10,000x. And
Wow.
that's where you can really smash atoms with me. Like, I'm an idea guy and I have amazing teams all over the world right now. I have guys building great stuff 24/7. It's awesome, Kango. But the only reason why I have these people is because I've gone to Singapore. I've gone to Korea, I've gone to Japan, I've gone to Austria, I've gone to Ukraine, I've gone to Switzerland, I've gone to UK, right? I've gone to these places where I've met people and created networks so that when I need, let's just be honest, cheap development labor to build a prototype or an MVP or something quickly, I have already a network that I can ping and say, look, I got 12
Right.
G's. That's all I got. I want to run a quick experiment on an NFT. I want to do it on Binance and I want to create a token. Like, you just tell me, that's my limit. Help me find the right guys. They hook me with the right guys. I
Wow.
fly over there if it's a great conversation, or we just start. And so I've networked, obviously America, all over, North America. But I mean, that is the face-to-face. You might have seen, I have been quoted on this a couple times, but on a couple of podcasts, but I truly believe that face-to-face is a competitive advantage in today's post-COVID world, where everyone is decidedly saying that it is just okay to do, this type of stuff. That's why I'm winning. That's why I'm winning, Kangle, because I'm willing to travel to all these different locations to do face-to-face conversation. And I've had conversations with people. For example, I had a conversation maybe February with the guy who said, man, you're the first person in like a year that wanted to come out and actually visit me. And do you think we did business? Of course we did. I'm the first human contact he's had in like a year and a half.
I know, right? I think, face to face is make it so much easier to close deals and stuff, and even work with people. I have a huge belief in that. I know we're running out of time here, but one last question, man. This is the fun question. I have to ask you every single time when we're on a show. Bitcoin Lambo. Where Bitcoin Lambo? What do you think? How big is Bitcoin's role in NFT and Web3? Where just on a meta level, right? On a high level, do you think people are gonna build NFTs on top of Bitcoin? What is the role? Like, will people do that? Does it make sense at all?
Yes. Actually, most of the fringe that becomes normalized and becomes a standard are these types of experiments. And so when you ask the question, should it be? The answer is, why not?
Gotcha.
The answer is, when it comes to crypto, DeFi, Web3, metaverse, the answer should always be, why not? You see, I'm going to give you guys some juju here. Here, let's go. I'm going to give you guys some ideas so that you guys can make some money. Here we go. All right. The cryptocurrency, Web3, metaverse, NFT, DeFi world. Okay. None of this is new. It is a new technology stack or portfolio of technologies that are essentially going to provide the same amount of services and products from the traditional world. So the traditional market, what is the traditional market? Everything. Car parts, rocking chairs, screws, planes, cars, stocks, everything that you see behind me is traditional market. So is there anything behind me that you could NFT? Is there anything that you could create an abstraction of value for? Is there anything behind me that might have a traditional community but doesn't have a crypto analog or crypto native version of that community? Let me give you an example. So there's a Lamborghini behind me. That's the Bitcoin Lambo, bought in 2017 for 45 Bitcoin. There's communities all over the world that love Lambos. But you know what? Maybe there's some of those communities that love Lambos, but they haven't gotten into crypto yet. Maybe you could be the guy that brings all the Lambo lovers into crypto. I know that's already been done, but you understand my point. There's a mosquito killer back there, right there. Did you know that there is an entire multi-million, $100 million market for killing bugs? You know what? Maybe you could be the guy who gets the bug killing world into crypto to make money In today's world, Kangol, is not hard. Pick something from the traditional world that hasn't crossed over to crypto and be that guy.
My goodness. That's some really good juice. That's, oh my goodness, Peter.
You see this knife? Not safe for work. There are people who love knives. What if you were the largest NFT knife auction site on the planet? I don't even know if it exists, Kangol, but I bet if it didn't exist and someone built it tomorrow, I bet within maybe in a year or so, that NFT site of the largest digital knife collection on the planet might be actually worth a couple $100 million. You know what? Maybe it's just because I said it on this stream that someone's gonna be like, "Daggone it, why don't I do that?" I mean, why the hell not?
I know, right? Well, thank you so much, Peter. You gave us so much juice today. I appreciate you so much. Every time I talk to you, it's like pouring of like waterfalls of knowledge and wisdom just being poured into this young man right here, and this time being shared with the world. Thank you so much, Peter. I just can't thank you enough. And honestly, I can't express the excitement. Like, I would love to hang out with you in person one day, because the energy that I'm getting today, it's very strong, and I bet in person is even gonna be cooler.
So let me say this as a final word. Kang, you and I should definitely hang out together, and let's just say there might be an NFT opportunity for you to hang out with me in person, if you know what I mean.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Peter. I'm going to end here. And man, I wish you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.